Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another day of watching charts do absolutely nothing and stop making sense for the whole world. Today playing the main part is Bitcoin yet again, who is on an absolute mission to annihilate everything that is living, breathing on this world. Yeah, peculiar, very interesting. How are you guys today? For everyone who is religious, first of all, happy Eid Mubarak. I might have butchered that name, but my apologies then. How are you guys? I know we weren't here yesterday. We were caught up in meetings. It's me and Cowboy yet again. And as you can see on the screen, Bitcoin is really cute. It's dangerous, it's treacherous, it's not making sense, and it looks like that they're on a mission to liquidate absolutely everything. Look at these candles. Look at these candles, even better. If you look at the 5-minute time frame, we had a great 15 minutes prior to this, where Bitcoin managed to go up 0.81%, retrace, and then managed to go back down 0.5%. And as we are right now, it's yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
I think we're gonna have ourselves a little bloodbath here in about 28 minutes.
So you're thinking down?
I'm not ruling out both ways.
No. Listen, every statistic and hypothetically points towards a relief to 79k. Everything that we can visually see points towards, I have no clue.
Mass liquidations.
Yeah, mass liquidations. This has been the craziest week that I've seen in a very long time, even with 1010 included. If you see how they liquidated over the weekend, pumped it back up like nothing was going on, now looking towards the lows of the range again. Yeah. Enrique, I agree with you there. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to happen, but it would make a lot of sense. It's, yeah, World War III on chain. Yeah.
So Chento, I saw recently on your X account that you posted a midterm chart that's targeting down near 50k.
Yes.
Do you think it's necessary that we go up into the 80s to take liquidity before going down?
So to answer the question, like why should we, or why do we have to take liquidity there? I think the market never gonna leave everything untapped. So I would assume that they have another attempt, a third attempt, because normally the market moves in power of 3 of at least the 82k region. But indeed, and I'm keeping this trade on the chart, I think we're aiming for 44 to 48k, especially from a higher time frame perspective. It makes the current trade look rather small. Stops for now below the previous low, but they might go there. So this is a bit fluid, but yeah, it's looking very bleak, man. 5 minutes are looking very, very, very bleak. Actually, it's looking crazy bleak. Look at how they retrace this complete move that they did upwards. Listen, guys, honestly, like being genuinely honestly with you guys, this is a no trade zone, man. This for me would normally mean I just come back next week, I focus on other works. Because even if you're a full-time trader, trying to trade this, trying to make something out of this, especially a sell-off like this yet again, from a mid-range, it's, yeah. Look at, new bottom, again, they're buying it up. It looks like, as of now, that they're not releasing us under the 77.5 yet. But who am I, you know? Things can, this buy up here, and also in terms of liquidations of that buy up, we only liquidated 5 million in shorts on this move up. Only 5 million. And yet they sold back, what is this move? 1%, I think?
Almost.
Yeah. 0.85%, they sold it back into the other direction. It's range compressed since yesterday evening because we're working with a 1.2% range. There's no severe news coming out today. We're at midweek, so it means a potential midweek reversal. It's just... These markets are the hardest to trade, guys. And this is literally trying to stay liquid longer than that the market can stay irrational. And the only way to remain liquid longer is by not getting fucked, man. Less is more in these market conditions. Try to swing it, try to find good entries, move stop loss to break even rather quickly, and just try to survive. Pretty sure that Chento's quant.
Indeed, indeed.
You didn't tight up yourself by any chance, did you?
My hands are here, my friend.
I'm skeptical. Looks nasty for sure. It looks absolutely nasty. Bro, the market is so irrational. Thing is, the market isn't even doing that much, to be honest. I think we're trapped in like a 4-5% range. Even on higher time frames. If we look at the 50 minutes, look at where we are for the last week. We're within a 5% range. It's, yeah, I don't know. Yes, I agree it's irrational, but it's nothing crazy yet. Hey Chento, when will you start 100k to 1 million challenge? Have you seen the market? When it becomes tradable, I'll do it. But right now, there's nothing tradable about this, guys. Look at my quant. You can't make this shit up. Cowboy John, Dagestani John. That's actually pretty funny, not gonna lie. That's pretty fucking funny.
I like the duality.
Yeah. From 𝗖𝗛𝗘𝗏 to Dagestan. It keeps pressuring, huh? Bitcoin keeps on the pressure.
I wouldn't be surprised in a steep drop off or a V-shape.
Yeah. And what I notice is they have the tendency to do this prior to New York more and more. But oh man, it's just so bleach. Everything you try to do, it looks that it's gonna break upwards. It looks that it's gonna grab liquidity to the upside, and then it just... They turn it off. They completely turn it off. This is algorithmic ping pong at the highest level, without having real liquidity, without having real volume, without having real basis for XYZ move. Yet they just... This is annihilation, man. This is annihilation of the whole range, of the whole pressure. Look at how much longs they remain on liquidating.
Are you still in your long? Your Bitcoin
Yeah,
long?
I'm still in my Bitcoin long. So my Bitcoin long is down 300k. And it took me 10k. It took me for 10k of funding fees as well. Mm-hmm. So my total open unrealized is minus 60k approximately. And it looks to be going... for the bottom and for how yet again. Hard day for new traders. Listen, my condolences to everyone that is recently entering the market. Keep an eye on your email for the liquidation emails. But yeah, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's really mad. And look at the wicks to the upside. They're trying to push. This looked like a decent recovery, especially at the lower range. But I'm gonna be honest, if we lose the 75.4, it's not really looking good. And it appears to be that they're gonna do it prior to New York, not because they have a reason for it, but because they're just, you know, it feels that they're doing it at this moment for the love of the game. You know? Liquidity is heavily stacked to the upside instead of the downside. Look at this. They might have some redness here that they can collect. Might have to change the stops to 74.4. Let me update Discord. But yeah, it's looking bleach, guys. It's looking very bleach. Can you please trade some trending outs? No. Yeah, you're sitting there watching, and for me, it's not complaining about Bitcoin, it's just saying that it's looking bleach and it's contrabed into a range. I don't know if you've seen my port, but as soon as I enter outs, I am the market making. So even if I wanted to, I can't. And it's not complaining. I am probably one of the few creators that just honestly says, if you're not in a position right now, do not get in one and not waste your fucking money and get liquidated. That's a completely different thing than complaining. It's realist. Metals are dumping kind of hard. Go down to 0.3% silver 4. Let me check. Are you a whale or a mid? I'm currently in a, how big is my position? $40 million position. I think it classifies as whale. Oh yeah, gold is selling off. What's weird is that, oh, look at dollar. Look at these moves on the dollar for the 15-minute candles. Interesting, no? All I'm trading is my eyelid, open and closed. Is it by position or margin? Both. This is a big sell-off, man. And with ease of it, look at the pressure, constantly pressuring down. Yeah, it's not looking good for our long position, to be honest. If we actually go for 74.4, I will have to exit my position. It's that easy.
Liquidity-wise, it just doesn't make much sense, does it?
No, liquidity-wise, it doesn't make sense. Liquidity remains to the upside, pretty, very decent. Yes, it's just. Listen, what can I say? It shows violence, and it's kind of sticking to it. It's very much so sticking to it. And the weird thing is, it's cutting like a knife through butter because the liquidations in longs are not even ramping up that fast. There's not much liquidity to be made here. But look at how nicely London did the same thing yet again. Let me get the sessions on. So London went below opening, tried to take out the high, ranged, dumped, took a new high, dumped. Well, Asia did almost the exact same thing. Went to the high, done below, dumped, went back above it. But London or Asia closed above the opening. But both of these sessions have nothing. Absolutely nothing. New York pumped and dumped as well. Yeah, this current setup, it's pretty dangerous, not gonna lie. Look at that pressure, man. Jesus. Yeah, I wish I could give you guys more information more to talk about. I guess we just have to wait for New York to open, especially in the current setting and current scenario. It's just dumping.
There's no clear drivers for this move either.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
And I think by now it's down 1.2%, and every time frame is looking at down. Yeah, 1.1%. So the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 50 minutes, the 30 minute, the hourly, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily all point towards down. But the liquidation volume and the liquidity is extremely bullish. So the ratio in terms of liquidations is completely flipped upside. Oh, look at that push.
Wow.
They're going for this remaining liquidity here.
7.4.
Yeah, but this is already mixed liquidity. This is not pure red liquidations, but look at how long they're letting all these shorts survive and let them just pile in without any repercussions. Might need a bigger OI spike and funding turn red before a reversal. Oh, at this point I think we need a miracle, because they just keep bluntly selling off. Wow, the money flow and the pressure that they're actually using it for. This is 90 million on the hourly. Discrepancy. That's nothing, especially for a 1.2, 1.3% sell-off move. That's nothing. But New York might change everything in the blink of an eye. No TP on your short? No. I'm keeping it as a hedge. And as soon as the markets look to be flipping, I just vary between heaviness to up and down. Especially, listen, there's no swing to be taken in this current market. I have not seen a bigger than 5% move, and that's not worth it to just have a single directional move, especially not with higher risk. And what people shouldn't forget is this is only a 90k discrepancy, but it has 2 million and 50k, so it's almost 2.1 million realized gains. So this is less than 5% of the gains made risked, with the total balance still sitting after the withdrawal at over 4 million. So it's, yeah, I prefer to sit this out and wait this out. Unless it's showing me that it's going significantly lower. But yeah, not really for me yet, at least. I prefer to stay where I am. Buyback is not bad. Same as this buyback. This was an amazing buyback. Like how it should. Consolidation at the high, shifting out, but there were not many liquidations happening at 76k. Still, it gave a sharp reversal after a single attempt out. They didn't even attempt above.
I think we're gonna end up seeing that again, where we get this slow bleed down, followed by
Might
that
be.
violent move up.
Might very well be.
As we saw it yesterday.
What is interesting is that there's not really, there's not really any confluence there. Look, EMAs are not there.
Zero.
They're above. Liquidity is resigning above. This is pure algorithmic manipulation, because there's, as said, there's zero reasoning. So if we keep on dumping, I cannot explain what's your biggest loss in trading. How much percent do you think is okay to put your stop loss? I cannot define for you what your stop loss should look like, or what your risk appetite should be. As long as you make sure that your winnings are bigger than your losses. I think a general practice is 2 or 3%, but 5 to 10 also works, as long as you make sure that your winnings are bigger. And I know I said it before, but your winnings definitely have to be bigger. And my biggest loss, well over 1 million. Like well over 1 million. And that's trade loss. I'm not talking about exchange bankruptcy or different shenanigans. That's purely an exchange, trading loss. Again, 5 minutes. The reversal, the initial reversal after the liquidation event is pretty decent. They fight to turn it back to green, not a big wick to the upside, and instantaneously, without any wick, without any attempt, new 5 minutes, yeah, we're going back to hell, buddy. The pressure is pretty immaculate and pretty insane, to be honest. It's pressuring without pressuring.
Nothing.
Yeah.
While we're watching this slow bleed, Chento, let me ask you a question.
Is it slow?
Let me ask you a question. When you are looking to enter a trade,
Yeah.
do you stick to a specific time frame for a trigger, or are you across the board? And why is that?
Everything that has less than a 4-hour confirmation for me, and I can explain to why I got into this trade. This was such a nice move back up, where it held and closed above without even touching. So the body of this candle didn't even touch on the 4-hour time frame. And that for me was enough confirmation to be confident in the level being held. Well, looking in hindsight, normally it always should have, because there's no confluence above, there's no pressure blocking points, there's not even an order block, right? This reaction point here it's thin air. It's absolutely thin air. So for me, confirmation is on the 4-hour, and then entries are mostly on the 5 minutes. And the reason for entering was, it looked to me that we're going to push to the upside. Look at nice consolidation, retest, consolidation. And you would expect to shift out, because as per principle that we've seen that the algorithm works really, really well on. Slow grind up, retest, higher low yet again. This should have been a textbook setup for higher. That's why you manage risk. They might be just grabbing liquidity to the downside. I don't know. We have to see how New York develops. They might just sell it off like insane. There's just zero bullish volume. The volume to the upside isn't that bad. The pressure to the downside isn't that rough either, to be honest. I've seen way, way, way worse. We both have.
Oh, it's
temporary, man. They were pressured back down. You see?
Oh yeah.
This cannot be correct.
No.
Hola, where is liquidity? Liquidity is above, man.
Since we have another 7 minutes here, or 6 minutes till the open,
Yeah.
I want to talk more about your trade management. Chento, how do you place your stop losses? Is it purely off of liquidity levels, or how do you place those?
It's slightly, one, it has to make sense, RRIs, right? So anything below 1 to 3 RR I never take. This one was initially placed under the previous low, but since we're looking forward already prior to New York opening, it's almost a given that it's gonna tap it. And now it's at the, for me, key hold level between bearish and bullish. If we lose 74.4, we can wave it off.
So I know, since you're a big proponent of risk management, for our newer traders and our newer viewers, can you define what RR exactly is?
RR means risk reward. So it is the amount of risk you're willing to take for a certain amount of reward. And that ratio, in my opinion, has to always be at least a minimum of 1 to 3. Someone just sent me there's a reason for everything. So I'm curious to hear from him what's the reason that we're getting fucked again. Yeah. Yeah. This is a sell-off, man. Look at it. Look at this pressure. It's constant.
This ghost pressure.
Yeah. These candles are looking promising for 40K, I guess.
We should ask our quant.
You're really gonna do this, huh?
It doesn't look good.
Nah. According to my liquidity indicator, the 4 is showing much more liquidity to grab on the downside. No, not really.
Because liquidation makes no sense.
No.
0 cents at all.
Also, this volume cannot have powered in that fast to the downside. But the fact that they sold off 1.3% yet again prior to New York opening, and look at the last candles here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So out of 45 minutes, only 1 candle has managed to be green, and that one got immediately punished afterwards. I think this hourly is, yeah, that's immaculate. Setting a low. Yeah, if this level doesn't bounce back, we're definitely going.
See ya.
Yeah, we're gonna back to the gates of hell. And the problems with moves like these, especially in the current market conditions, is there's no way to predict this. There's no way to see this coming. There's no way to prepare for this or whatsoever. It's just sheer pressure.
Jacoby doesn't necessarily, or Troy doesn't necessarily have to bounce from 744.
Bro, it doesn't have to do anything. It might as well go to 71 fucking K in a straight line from here. Might go to 12K in a straight line. All I can tell you with conviction is that it's down right now. Look at that. That sell-off.
That's brutal.
It's absolutely brutal. 1.4%. Bye. A guy opened his door and got shooted, and you think it's me. I have no clue what you said. If New York is bleach, I will cut my trade. Not gonna lie. The hard thing for me is that I cannot explain why something is happening. So I do not see the understanding and the background of this move. Like if there was a clear domination of liquidity to the downside, if there was a clear trigger, the war seems to be easing up. Everything is not pointing that much down, to be honest.
Quantitatively, it makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly.
As a quant.
As my quant. But look at also how they're forming the candles. Even though it looks that they're trying to push up, it's not giving it. The market is not giving any relief. Oh, New York's open. Let's see what the stock market did. Stock market looks to be opening up. That means that Bitcoin's probably gonna dump.
Interesting. Shall we go to the 5 second?
Yeah, I'm looking at S&P, what S&P is gonna develop. Jesus.
Wow.
There's not much hope for Bitcoin, is there? Liquidations again. Here's a buy up. Might be temporarily, like insanely temporarily.
Look bad.
Don't jinx it, Quant.
My glasses are cleaned.
Traditional markets are looking good.
And
Look at how they buy it, how they pressure it back down again immediately.
no volume on that though.
No volume,
No
absolutely zero volume. The volume is green, like the volume is up. Look at this.
Yes.
Green volume, red candle. Green volume, red candle.
Platform there.
That's not good. That's not good. Especially if they start repainting candles in the wrong direction in terms of volume. That's not good at all. Big ass out today. Oil is down 4%, gold is down 2%. The dollar is down as well, and the stocks are also going down. So now there's no counter anymore to hedging inflation or whatsoever. Now just everything goes up together and down together. How do you mean the financial markets are cooked? When the volume candles have different color than the actual outing, means that there's a discrepancy between the absorption and the actual volume, which means that they have that the market makers have chosen a direction. In this case down, because they deliberately choose not to absorb the volume as it was intended. So buying volume should bring the price up because people want to buy. If people want to buy, they're filling it, right? See, I'm recovering the flush. Hope we see more downside. Then we will all up. Bro, you trying to get me killed or what? It's not looking good. Everything they try to recover, there's no big candle to the upside. Nothing.
Quantitatively, it looks bad.
Fucking quant. This was so promising. No, it really was. Look, this liquidation bubbles to the downside. There's a shift out. This is how it should look normally for a change of character in terms of the market, right?
Let's see what this is. Opens flat. And that's gone.
We're in a bear market. Yes, we are. But what are your current positions, bro? I have 2 million realized on my short, and it's up 300k, and my long is down 460 right now. So I have a total unrealized profit of 160k, and I have a total realized profit of 2.1 million. There's a correlation between John coming on the stream and a losing streak. Look at what Dimitri posted in the Discord. Bro, he posts quite a lot, so let me read up here. Yeah, that would make sense, to be honest.
Chento, do you always hedge, or what is your...
No, the thing is, I don't hedge for very, very, very long periods of time. But as soon as I can't swing with my port size, I have to hedge. Because I will otherwise bleed out on fees and everything in between. And the market shifts so fast with these position sizes that I cannot get a swing. So as soon as the market gives me an opportunity where I can stay in a swing and outscale one direction, I will stop hedging. But for now, it's definitely the right thing to do. There's like zero chance that you can take a directional position in the current market.
I think that chat might have something on this indicator of sorts that 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏 guy said.
Short of no cowboy hat on. So you hedge as insurance for yourself? No, I hedge for the market conditions. I don't need any insurance. But if I can make money on both sides without having to constantly pay all the opening fees, and I can still make money on the funding on the other side, what's my reasoning for not doing it, right? Because there's a good difference. There's an $1,100 difference between the hedge. $1,100 with an average of 500-600 Bitcoin is a 500k difference between them. So they can both run in profit. Maxi zero fees, bro. It's great that you tell me you don't know shit about trading without actually saying that you know shit about trading, but I figured that out now.
That math checks out.
Yeah, that math checks definitely out.
Chento, you're actually a market maker.
Try to be. Waiting for them to contact me. What platform do you check liquidity to the upside or downside? This is our own indicator. That's going to be released to the community pretty soon. Bro, look at this, man. Fucking hell. They unlocked a new DOC. It's called the Infinite Pressure Glitch. It dropped this week. Maxis are a certain type of religion. They freeze your account when you make money. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. I call it 𝗬𝗏 for a reason. S&P and the rest of New York shitting the bed. Oh yeah, they are.
It's not looking good, bro.
Nah.
74.4. Let's see what the reaction is.
Look at that sell-off again. Fucking hell.
And here it goes again. There was some volume on that one.
Yeah.
Considerable volume.
Considerable volume, yeah. 50 million. Yeah, that's a 25 million liquidation. Way down we go. And that from a mid-range sell-off, huh? Listen, even on the 4 hour, this whole structure, as far as you can consider it even a structure, makes no sense. How much did we dump prior to New York now? Quantitative, 1.71%. So what is it? $1,200?
Yep.
Epic.
Cutting your long question mark?
Not yet. No crying at the casino. No, not at all.
Chento, is there somewhere that our viewers can go to see where you're going to cut your long?
Yeah, Discord. The link is pinned. Fucking Quan. Listen, honestly, I don't even like to trade markets like this right now. I prefer to just wait for a good swing entry instead of looking at this like, I don't know.
Chento, are you in a long? Somebody's wondering.
You moron. Bro, you must be joking. So I swear some of these people must be joking.
You,
the worst thing is it's not even... Oh yeah, now it's getting there. Yeah, now I'm down 300k.
it's not half bad.
Oh man, it's getting to the point where it's kind of hurtful, to be honest.
It's almost half bad.
Yeah. Yeah, New York doing New York things, I guess. Yeah, the stock market's turned red as well. This is gonna go... So it was a make or break level. It broke it. You own race stock, Ferrari? Nah. Holy retail in the chat, let me farm you all. Buddy, if you tried to farm me, I wish you the best. Ferrari going to shit? Yeah, that electric car that they made is absolutely horrific. Look at CVD as well, man. CVD starts selling off here, which is... Even prior to that bump, CVD was already shorting. EV is faster? Well... It's... Even that's not true. EV is faster in the beginning. Have you even seen a little bit of relief during New York? No, right?
Chento, when are you starting on Kick? Someone's asking.
Pretty soon, as soon as everything is rounded up for it. We're waiting on the finalizing of the deals, so we can finally start doing some fun stuff on Kick. Oh, the candle's turning green.
Temporarily.
Yeah, that must be...
And
I think the market maker is glitching.
there it goes.
That's better, finally.
Cool.
I was afraid we're gonna have a green candle right there. You know, it's funny, if I just held my short this morning like I wanted to, I would be up 1,000,001. Yeah, that's fucking hindsight. First 15 minutes of New York have been a direct sell-off. Oh, we're going lower.
Chento, someone's asking what platform this is that you're using.
Nick, you also have the ability to answer questions.
I only answer quantitative questions.
So the guys that are with me today are trying to make a sport out of it to be as cunty as possible, and they're doing a pretty decent job at it. The platform is FlowX. It's a tool that we developed ourselves, and I will send the link here. Man, this is a... Oh shit, stocks are selling.
Wow.
Whoo!
It's not looking good, bruv.
It's not looking good, bruv. Nah, it's not looking good.
Which price do you DCA in the long? I don't think there's a good place to do that at the moment.
I don't think you should DCA this. It's a green candle. It's temporarily, but it's green. S&P is recovering.
How's the volume? Oh. It's not the worst volume, but it's certainly...
I've seen better.
Yeah.
I just don't like candles or sell-offs like these. Look at this singular candle doing 0.6%. While S&P is recovering, Bitcoin has opposing opinions towards the recovery of the stock market. With, how do I say this politely, being instantaneously shot in the head. You could even say sniped in the head.
That is certainly one way you could put it.
Yeah, I think we can conclude that Bitcoin is going to absolute shit. Bro, they tried to find something up. Yeah, I'm gonna listen. If it hits 74.4, I'm gonna cut it. I had enough, and I'll come back next week. They liquidated 65 million approximately in the last hour again. Stock market isn't even looking that bad. While Bitcoin cannot even tie its own shoelaces. With a almost 2% sell-off from 2 influx candles, and then afterwards we've seen nothing but negative pressure. Stock market tanking. But the stock market is down 0.1%. Oh, Nasdaq is.
Oh, wow.
So the dollar is down, Nasdaq is down, Dow Jones is down, oil is down, and gold is down. Oh no, the Dow Jones is up.
It's like last time.
Bro, this thing is wild as fuck.
So resilient. And gone is the green candle.
All we need is a 1K candle, theoretically.
Yeah, Jordan, looking at the chart, there's liquidity there, but when you look at actual liquidation points, there's no liquidity there.
Nice techno, thank you. Yeah, they swept literally almost the whole thing. Look at the difference between liquidity above and below. I'd say that's a significant difference across all assets.
It's starting to stack up, going down to 74.
Yeah.
People are DCing their stop losses up.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say. Bitcoin's looking like shit. Everything's going to hell. A green candle looks something from a Epiphany movie.
Can you explain liquidity being? Yeah, so what I mean by that is, if you're looking at it from a candlestick perspective, from like an ICT perspective, it looks like liquidity is there, but when you go and you actually look at the data, there's no liquidity there.
Yes. And what is also interesting is that the pressure is dropping. They wheeled in 80 or 90 million already. What? The pressure is dropping.
Yeah, I know.
It was minus 250 on both.
I'm laughing
So
at price action.
yeah, price action is... It's a new 5-minute candle, so it's obvious that we go down first.
Chento, how do you manage to look so cute when the market is so not rational?
Bro, what can I do? I can sit there and cry, but it doesn't add any fucking value. Thing is, keeping your psychology and your mindset right and trying to remain as objective as possible and not being led by emotions is the only way that you will make it out of this market and make it out of a trade. Leading by emotions, letting emotions take the overhand or influence you is not gonna add any value. Oh, Nasdaq. Come on, Daddy Nasdaq. That's not bad.
not really reflecting for us very well though.
S&P is almost up again. Nasdaq is getting there. Bitcoin is doing something.
Next hourly candle will be green.
Can you stay on a bit longer?
Did they give us something to stay on for?
No, not really. We have some other software related stuff that we need to finish. Come on, flip green, flip green. Come on, buddy. Come on.
There really is no liquidity on the downside. For the
No,
most
not
part,
really.
which is why it's ghost pressure, is what we were saying.
Yeah, it genuinely is ghost pressure.
Nasdaq testing.
Yeah. If this rejects, then we... Yeah, I salute my fallen friends and foes.
Oh, that's actually moving good right there on the S&P.
Yeah, S&P is looking decent. Nasdaq is also looking decent. Dex, there might be hope for you, buddy. I'd DCA here if I was you. He's in a slightly different position. Ooh.
That's not looking bad there.
I think that saved me quite some money. Yeah, that saved me casual 70k. We're back above 75, which is also nice. It might have been a stop hunt low, and now we just go to
V-shape.
yeah, a V-shaped 80 and a candle of 4.
And then 48, 44.
Yeah. Well, it's still a minute 40. It might not even end up being a green candle.
S&P looks great.
Or S&P is looking solid. Dow Jones is starting to look solid again. Nasdaq is also starting to look better and better.
It just needs to translate.
No, I don't have a lot of interest in that, Clay.
They're not far from month end, yeah.
No, we aren't. That's very, very true. We're also not very far from monthly open of June. I know, mind-boggling. It's still compression in this range, right? Still ranging, no clear shift, no clear breakout. They're not gonna close this 5-minute green. Well, it will be a green candle, but it will not be that the stock markets are.
Osama's asking you for you to market make right now.
I can't on Bitcoin, to be honest. I'm not liquid enough. I wish I could right now, but there's too many institutions in the market for me to market make it for you.
I've seen this question come up a couple of times, Chento. Do you have any plans to buy spot Bitcoin?
Yes. Everything below 50, I'm gonna buy it all. Everything above 50, I ain't fucking touching it.
This guy's very desperate.
If you leverage enough, you can do it. Do it, please. Bro, I don't know if you've seen the max order size of an exchange. I'm 12 Bitcoins off the max order size at Bluefin. There's not much I can do here to help you, buddy. Like...
I like this guy.
Yeah. You might have to go Baron.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. True. Yeah, to be honest, I kinda had enough, man.
Clay, Chento already said no to that one.
You only need a push and it will pump ice. Bro, you're funny.
Standpoint, I don't think that's true.
No. V-shape 79, yeah. It's not doing anything, huh?
Got green there, and then we have gray here. V-shape 79 could be. You just need the V-shape to occur.
Yeah.
It's not really happening.
Nope, not. Can't even poke it with a stick.
We start grinding. I wouldn't rule out of 75.5 rejection.
I just want to see it hold 75 to begin with, and then we'll work up from there.
Yim-sun, you have to also take into account that he's also hedged, so it changes the net amount that he is long.
But yeah, total size that I have in market right now is one of the biggest that I've had for some, at least publicly for some time. I'm running into exchange limitations here. Oh, looks like we're trying something. We're trying something here. Probably get shot in the head.
So, Jordan, to answer your question, I think he often begins by closing his eyes.
Who?
And then he just lets it, you know.
How do you sleep with no stop loss placed? Yeah, closing my eyes is a pretty big portion of my sleep routine. This is why we can't have any nice things.
Wow.
That's so brutal. It's so absolutely brutal. In its defense, S&P did the same thing.
You know, 𝗦𝗏𝗏𝗏, that's not a bad play, it seems. Whole chat. It seems chat has found a new indicator.
Yeah. It used to be killer for us, though. I want to say it's not looking bad, but it's not looking good either. So currently the chart is looking. It's kind of looking, isn't it?
I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of looking.
T-shirt, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh, that's good on S&P. That's good. I like that. Nasdaq is doing the same thing. Nasdaq is creeping back up. They're reversing it. Hmm? Yeah, now it's making the higher lows again.
Oh, here we go.
Listen, all we need is one good candle.
You know, in the words of a wise trader, just one push and it will pump.
Yeah.
We need a pump song. That's what Diogo says. And I agree.
This is 120k better for me.
Osama, you might be on your way, my friend. Osama is getting his spirits are up now.
Clay, I don't know if you're a broken record.
It might be a bot.
But no, we don't have any interest in the monthly open sitting at 73. Oh, this is good. This is good. Nasdaq, if you could clutch in here a bit, buddy. So as soon as we see Nasdaq flipping positive as well. Oh, there it is.
Oh my goodness.
There it is. Come on, Daddy Nasdaq.
I still haven't changed structure over here though.
No, not much. Oh, Nasdaq flip positive. Hold this. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. I'm down 180k. It's so much better now. I love it. So this is a tutorial how to lose 170k less in 10 minutes. Hope you all paid attention and like my TED Talk. Osama says it's clearly reversing. I like what S&P is doing here. As long as it keeps doing it. Where S&P might carry the team here. I'm telling you, S&P might clutch in for us, buddy. We're just one push away from going up.
That math does check out, I will say.
From a quantitative perspective.
Looking at our financial models, that is an accurate assessment.
Looking at our financial models.
I have them over here. Chento, one of our inner circle members is asking, what do you do for fun when you touch grass?
I don't touch grass. So I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, I don't do anything. I'm a bit of a boring guy. But I think all the fun we had last days was just work, to be honest. For approximation of 16 hours a day.
Great fellowship.
Yeah. The camaraderie between me and my friends here is amazing because they just, they work with me, so that's nice. Alongside me.
The real profit is the friends you make along the way.
Yeah. We do gamble. Yeah. DCA here for long? Yeah, of course. At the high of the shift out of the bottom that they make, it's you always long the top and short the bottom. So that sounds pretty epic. So if they can produce another great green candle after this for S&P and Nasdaq and push up these last 25 seconds, we're not looking to bleach. Did I hear you say you gamble?
Is that not what we're doing now?
We like to do the occasional spin, yeah. Would you exit the break even? No, that's for pussies.
That is a crazy question. DJ.
I lowered it. My apologies. Oh, Nasdaq doesn't seem to be breaking out. I think Nasdaq's gonna kill us here, buddy. Turn it up. Okay. Should you exit the long? No. Look, this is the difference. The stock markets have the tendency to reverse and flip the candle. Bitcoin has the tendency to push harder.
After my brief analysis, I don't think they're pushing harder right now.
Yeah, down.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. From a quantitative perspective, it's looking bleach. Where S&P is doing a great job here.
What
Bitcoin's also doing a job. Oh, this is unreal. I'm telling you, I had this feeling before this candle that I was like, yeah, they might just retrace that whole fucking move in one candle again. Yeah, this is 70k for me, so that's great. This is just unreal, man. This is absolutely unreal. But there's also the instantaneous pressure, right? It's bump from here. I didn't even read the name, I just knew it was Osama.
Instant pump. You want to buy a Porsche?
Yes, 911 Turbo S. At least.
Like I said, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, everything is going down
Oh
again.
wow. Sell in May and walk away. Bitcoin new meme coin? Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah, it's legit a meme coin.
Bitcoin is just a donation bank now.
Yeah, well, we had 3 green candles, so we had a good 15 minutes. Yeah.
What are liquidations like right now?
Bro, we took 2 million to the upside and 62 million to the downside, so that makes...
Well, that was fun.
Oh, yeah, it was great. Epic. They outdid everything they did in 3 minutes.
Hey, didn't you say massive dump on the 28th earlier this month?
Yeah, I did. You DC out of your long now? No, not really. I wish I was, but yeah.
Chento, what's the watch you're wearing?
IWC. I don't know which one, but it's an IWC. Might have to sell it if this keeps going on.
That's a gift.
Oh yeah, no, it was a gift, yeah. That's true. It was a gift. You hear that, right?
Yep. We have a rodent issue in the wall.
Yeah, we have a rodent issue. And the rodents play ping pong in the office during live streaming with very strict rules about not playing ping pong while we're live streaming.
They can't read, they're illiterate.
Yeah,
Rodents.
we have illiterate rodents.
Long resistance and show support. That's a bold strategy, Osama.
Yeah.
Dr. ZNX, you can always invert your chart to see a pump on your birthday.
Yeah, I agree. It would be nice to see a pump. Pretty unconvinced about it, but I don't really know what they're heading for in terms of liquidations.
Osama, King Zuli, is that you?
That's pretty funny. What's your entry on the long? My entry is 75.8. So yeah, that works. I'm back down to 300k. That also works.
Mr. Jerome, We can hope all we want for a pump, but it will not keep us liquid.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go back to work. Bitcoin's not gonna do much. I still don't see why it should go down more, but it's proven that it's not going up. Hit the like button on the way out. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you all tomorrow.